You guys have probably seen many different types of Fortnite montages and highlights, some of them having all these crazy effects, and others with just the clips and music. These are called indie montages, and they're actually really easy to make, but there's a lot of things that people get wrong in the editing process. And so my goal today is to show you guys how to actually edit your own montage for free. So let's start off with asking the question, what is an indie montage, and how do you make one? Well, an indie montage is basically a clip slash highlight video that uses a more underground song from a non-mainstream artist, as well as limiting the editing to simple fade in, fade out transitions, slow-mo during the kill, usually in the big beat drops of the song, and cutting the clips on beat. So let's say you have all your clips ready and you want to edit a highlights video. Where do you begin? Well, first you need to find yourself an editing software. There are big ones like Premiere Pro and After Effects, but these cost a lot of money, although there are many ways to bypass that. But I personally use After Effects because my school provides it to me for free. I recommend using Davinci Resolve or even a software as simple as CapCut, because you don't actually need that many resources inside of the software. For picking your music, pretty much any song can do. I know earlier I said that indie montages use less popular songs, but you can edit pretty much any song into an indie montage. It's just that for the editing style itself, indie rock songs generally fit better, whereas if you were to use a rap song, it would more likely look out of place, depending on how it sounds. Some songs have longer gaps between aesthetic beat drops that you can sync with your clips, so you might need to try and experiment with multiple different songs to see which fits yours best. My personal clips aren't that long, but I have some that are at least 10 seconds, so pretty much any song can do. You typically want to start off with a streamer POV or a pretty good clip so people stay watching your video. By doing this, you get better viewer retention if you use better clips at the start, but obviously don't use all your good clips all together at the start. You want to spread them out, so if someone does end up watching until the end, they're not just watching your filler clips. You want to start off by having a fading in intro. You can also sync the fade in with the volume of the song, making the song get louder the more visible the clip is. For this specific song, the first beat drop that I want to use is right here, when the song starts to get a little faster. First, you want to go to where your clip actually begins, so my clip begins right here. So basically I'm going to cut the rest of the clip away, and I'm also going to cut the song right here, and then I want to add a fade in. So for me on After Effects, I have to mess with the opacity, so I set the opacity of the video to 0. I set a timer so it puts a little marker here, then I go in front, let's say a second and a half, and I put another marker here at 100%. So now in that span of a second and a half, my video goes from completely black to you can actually see it. And basically you can do this with the song as well, so as the video gets more visible, your song also gets louder. So I want to basically put the volume all the way down, and then I want to go right here, put another marker, and then put it at the normal volume. So this is what it'll look like. Now I'm syncing the music with the kill. I already lined it up, and this is how it looks. But I want to add slow-mo since it's the first clip of the video. To do that, I first have to find the moment right before the pump shoots. I do this because I need to get the whole audio of the pump actually shooting and when the pump connects with the other player. For After Effects, I have to stretch the clip length to 150%, and this is how it looks. On other softwares, you're probably going to have a multiplier for the speed, so I would mess around with that and see how it sounds. You're probably going to have to do around 0.5 to 0.6 speed of your clip. To keep a rhythm in your montage, you want to transition from one clip to another pretty fast, so you basically don't want any space in between the kill and the next clip. Right here, right after the kill, I'm fading it out using opacity again. This time starting at 100% and then with the second marker being at 0%. This means that if I put another clip below the transition area, it will slowly merge. Then you want to add your next clip starting at a point where you're already in motion. And you sync the kill with the next beat drop. You don't really want to add two slow-mos back to back unless the song has like two really heavy drops in a row. So not having a slow-mo here is just fine. And you guys get the idea. You basically just repeat everything on each clip, fading it out and fading it in, and obviously syncing it on beat. That is the most important thing. And so this is what 30 seconds of what I've just done looks like. And for your outro, it kind of depends on how the song actually ends. For this specific song, the end is kind of slow, so I decided to use a wind clip because there's not really a big beat drop I can just end off with a really good clip. And as you saw, I really didn't do anything differently. I did the fading in transitions and I ended off the final win with a fading out outro, and it's just a little longer just to match the pace of the song. Now I'm on Davinci Resolve, which I recommend most of you use since it's completely free. I've added in the same clips and song, and now I'm just going to show you basically what I did over on After Effects. So I synced the clip already to the beat, and now I want to have an intro fade in. So I first click the clip and go to the very beginning of the video. Then I go all the way to the top right where it says inspector and find composite. Under that is opacity. I make the opacity 0, then click the little dot next to it. Then I go in front a couple seconds on the timeline, click another dot and make it 100. I do the same with the audio. I click the audio file, go to the audio instead of video in the top right under inspector, then I make the volume 0 and go in front a couple seconds and make it audible. Next, for the slow-mo, you want to cut your clip right before the shotgun shot, and then you want to right click and change speed. Just experiment with the slow-mo speed, but keep it in between 50 and 65. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you edit an indie montage. It's very simple editing, but your goal is to make it look aesthetic and clean. I'll have the download for Davinci Resolve as well as some indie songs for you guys to use in the description. And I just want to say thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. Please let me know if you guys want any more tutorials either on Fortnite or editing. I'll see you guys on the next one.